Hi everybody, Chrissy here today, and I'm going to show you how to make this card. I am using supplies from the new Catherine Pooler holiday release. So the first thing I did was I inked up this amazing stamp set, and this is a vintage baubles background stamp set, and I used the Sandcastle ink, and I'm stamping it onto a craft cardstock. So I love my background stamps, but I do them a little bit different. As you can see, I kind of did it opposite. So instead of stamping onto the paper, I press the paper onto the stamp and then cover it and then press it down. You could definitely use like a Misty stamping tool or another tool if you prefer. I just kind of like to do it this way. It kind of works out for me. So the next thing I did was I took some watercolor ink and I just pushed it all over a piece of white cardstock. It kind of got lost on that background there, but it's just a plain white piece of the Catherine Pooler premium cardstock. And now I am covering it up with the peppermint scrub embossing powder. So this stuff is really cool because it's multiple colors. It's got like the peppermint scrub color from Catherine Pooler's ink collection, but then it also has flecks of like platinum and silver and everything in there. So it just kind of looks simple when you put the powder on there until you activate it, and then you can really see like the peppermint scrub is kind of mixed in with like the silver and platinum and everything. So I just threw some adhesive on the back. It's like a two-sided adhesive to basically make this a sticker, and I'm using the new Jolly Word die. So I'm just putting that on there, and I'm going to run it through my little die cutting machine here, and then now it's basically a sticker. I have stick on the back so I can peel it off and turn it into kind of like a 3D sticker later. So the next thing I'm doing is I'm stamping a few pieces from the Man with the Bag stamp set. And this one is super fun. Oh my gosh, like I could not work with this and not smile because it's just like a couple different beards and a couple different hats. And I actually stamped it on watercolor cardstock, and I'm using the peppermint scrub and I'm using blackjack. So I stamped them in those colors, and then you can see I'm actually going to watercolor with the same ink colors. So I'm using a glass mat, but you can use anything that's slick. So if you have like a laminated piece of paper, or you have like some sort of a palette, or even if you have a piece of extra acrylic, you could stamp it on there, or even an acrylic block, and then use that as your palette instead. So I did speed this up a little bit, but basically I just kind of watercolored some extra colors, and then what I did is I took my watercolor, this is just a water brush, and I kind of also pulled some of the colors from what I stamped as well. So I blended both the stamped image and then the added color that I put on there too. So even though it's really simple, I think it does add a lot of pop. I kept it simple enough, and I wanted it soft because I still wanted that awesome background to show up, even though that was subtle as well. But then I knew that I was also going to have that embossed, jolly, glittery, amazing sentiment too. So I wanted subtle and kind of like in your face at the same time. I don't know if that makes sense. So the next thing I did was I just wanted to add a few extra touches to that vintage baubles background, but I didn't want to color the whole thing in because I felt it would be too busy. So I just grabbed some Q-tips, and using that Sandcastle ink, I just kind of like added a few little shadows here and there. And I think that was just enough of a pop to make it worth it, I should say. So if you wanted to, you could probably just color it in with a bunch of like similar colors if you had like color pencils or light enough markers to keep it all kind of like monotone, which means like one color. But I just wanted a few little pops in there, and that was it. So now I'm just assembling the card. I'm just using some 3D foam squares. So I decided, because there's no faces, like I said, the stamp set, the Man with the Bag, is so fun because it's hats and beards and kind of fun like Santa type accessories. I decided to make the jolly kind of the focal, almost like his face. Does that make sense? So it's like the OLL is kind of like his eyes. I don't know. I just thought it was fun. So then I kind of assembled that all together, and now I'm using a new sequin set. This is called Tinseltown Sequins. And I'm just adhering them on with some little dots on there so you can see all the shimmer and shine. This is the finished card. So thank you so much for stopping by today. I hope you will check out this collection. It is definitely one of my favorites. Have a great day.